3 gems missing?
Perhaps they've been destroyed.
We tested the first one. It can't be done.
They must be magically concealed.
So the crown must remain incomplete?
Maybe the Sorax have the missing gems. After all, they attacked you more than once. They're clearly still after the crown.
If you can't find the gems, why keep the crown out there? It'll just keep attracting the Sorax.
The attunement, remember?
I'm sorry, senior deputies, but despite the attunement, I believe the crown should be secured. And secured by more than 4 adventurers who spend their nights camped in the Badlands.
We can't do that to them. They have served the council faithfully.
Don't be naive. We are facing a major threat. You understand the meaning of sacrifice, and so should they.
We have searched the Badlands for these gems at our own risk.
We trusted you to keep your word and leave us the crown.
If I may, I think we need more time to consider the situation.
More time? How much time?
Maybe just give it a night.
I could use the day to consult with my people.
So could I.
Fine then. Anyone against?
At least we're on
Lord Danantar.
good terms with all factions.
The Legacy Council is now adjourned.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I knew it. They'll take the crown, and never mind what that does to me.
This
I
is
won't
wrong.
let that happen.
We could run. What's the point? We know what's at stake.
They're right about one thing. The Sorax will keep coming after us, after the crown.
We could retrace our steps, go back to where we found the gems. Perhaps there's a trail we overlooked.
There's nothing anymore. I can't feel another gem anywhere.
Excuse me, senior deputies.
Master Shorespell.
I would advise you to avoid the palace residence tonight.
What? Why?
I'm not at liberty to say. Just trust me. You have your lodgings at the Gravekeep's Cask. You should spend the night there.
What kind of advice is that? Are you really working for the Arcaneum?
Why else would I be here?
I think it's just that we got him friendly enough that he's warning us.
What do you think? It sounds like a warning.
Or a threat.
Can we trust him?
Trust the new empire.
I have no idea what to do, but I'd like to sleep in a bed tonight.
I miss Carol's beer.
And Merton's sweet talk.
I prefer the residents. I like Captain Ironshell kissing me goodnight.
Maybe in your dreams.
Kissing her goodnight. How come only apparently only Clutch is up here? Or maybe the rest are just over here? Okay. Alright, well. So we gotta figure out whether or not we follow the advice. Actually, here, let's make a save. Where to sleep? To sleep. That way it has its own save. We need to take a long rest to progress the story. I don't think we should trust the princess. She's been acting kind of funny, and I think she's been hiding her true intentions. Maybe she's a Sorak. And the reason she wanted us to move into her palace grounds is exercising control over us. I'm going to spend the night at the Gravekeep's Cask. If we get attacked, at least we know we can't trust the the Imperium, the Arcaneum. But I think we've got our friendships high enough there that we should be okay. Oh. The Arcaneum is up to Brotherhood status. Same with Danatar. The Tower of Knowledge is up at. They're sympathetic to us. Scavengers and the Principality think we're living legends, and the Antiquarians were at Brotherhood. So like we're in good terms with everybody. Like all of them will join us in battle in the very least. I'm just wondering if the Principality has been overtaken by like the Princess Seawald Silverflower, if she's up to something. So it's too bad you can't talk to like the other, like, what is it? Stig was used down here. Like we could talk to Stig and that, 'cause he's part of the princess's guard or whatever. All right.
Hello, adventurers. What can I offer you?
A room for the night.
We'd like to stay for the night.
Here we go. So do we get attacked here? Oh, I guess we can do pair of spells. Yeah, you know, I think our spells are pretty good. 19 spells remembered. That's a lot of remembered spells. I don't think I'd change them all. Like, that's the thing. Conjure Elemental is the only one I'm like, probably won't use. But I don't think there's anything lower that I'd really need put back on. I thought we had Comprehend Languages. Like, we can do it as a ritual, but... maybe this way there's an option during dialogue where it's like, cast Comprehend Languages. Alright, we're good there. Let's just close. No way back. Here we go.
Senior deputies.
Captain, what's the news?
You didn't hear? Your quarters at the residence were ransacked.
What? When?
During the night. It's lucky you weren't there.
We could have handled a burglar or two.
They were more than simple burglars to infiltrate the palace undetected.
Who then?
I can't say for sure, but
Assassin?
some are saying Saw Akath.
We were supposed to be safe there, remember?
I'm well aware. We have put further magical security measures in place.
Thank you for keeping us informed, Captain.
You are most welcome. Good day to you, senior deputies.
I'm glad we trusted
It
our friend.
appears Headlon's sure spell was right.
He knew? But how? He's a spy, or something similar.
It looks normal to me.
That's what spies do.
We must decide on our next move.
Back to the council, I suppose, and see what they decided.
Or we could pay Sure Spell a visit.
That's what I was planning on doing. I'm surprised it doesn't give you an option of who to talk to. Captain Artillery Quarters, for a sec. Sorry, Heldon warned you, but how? Go find him and confront him.
Ah, here you are.
Do you find our visit surprising, Master Sure Spell?
No, not at all. Since you followed my advice.
How do you know that?
You're here, alive and unwounded. I heard there was some disturbance at the residence.
Is that so?
But clearly you're here for business, not small talk.
No way back.
Clear skies, adventurers.
We do require your services.
I was hoping maybe you'd give us new wares, but still don't have enough. It won't let us do the prime. We have to be living legends to get that. And the rest of the stuff we sold him. All right. Well, something's going to happen on the way out of town, I think. It's odd that conversation didn't seem like it should have been done already. Any new quests? Nope, no new quests. I think the shit's hitting the fan and we're about to lose access to this town. Is that a sword on the ground? And it's not something we can pick up. All right. Seems a little early, or maybe late. It's like 8 p.m. Seems a little late to be going to the council. But then again, something important did happen. Here we go.
Honorable delegates, please be seated. The Legacy Council is now in session. Chancellor Gormsdotter has the floor.
Thank you, Protector. Honorable Council members, we at the Guild of Antiquarians have come to an agreement regarding the quest for the gems of the crown of the Magister. We believe that the crown should be secured, and therefore surrendered by its current owners, in exchange for a generous payment, raised by all parties in the Council.
You can't! You will wait for your turn to speak, Senior Deputy. We searched the Badlands for these gems, and now you're just taking the crown away from us? Order!
We are well aware of your reservations, and we understand them. Yet, from what I heard, all parties have agreed that you should comply, for the security of all.
Security? You talk of security? What security? Just last night, Sorax attacked our quarters in the residence.
What?
Sorax? Here in Cyflen?
In the palace?
Order!
Immediate action is needed.
Well, find the damned Sorax then.
Please, my lords.
You! Where are your paladins?
Where are your wizards and their divination spells?
Stop it! None of this is helping. Lord Sunblaze, you're supposed to be neutral here. Someone must introduce a formal request.
Right. Apologies. You're right. Let's vote. Only senior members, please. Those for securing the crown, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Nay.
Nay.
Well, we have a majority.
We'll help you with the attunement issue.
Whoa, wait! Who's gonna take the crown, and where? Well, the most secure location would be the Temple of Aina, of course. The Hearth. Of course! Right here in Cyflen. Neutral ground, of course, but still, the Principality of Masgarth is the center of Solasta.
Do you have a better idea, Dean Facek?
We have secure locations too. How many high-ranking paladins in your tower, Facek? More than actual wizards in your school.
Order! Remember the dignity of your positions, my lords. Senior deputies, if you please. The council has spoken.
Mouse, you're all stupid. Neko, someone here's a traitor. Reyna, this is a mistake. My option is we must obey the council? I don't think so. We can't trust them. We can't, if Reyna dies at taking off the crown, we can't lose it. I think we gotta go with Neko saying someone here is a traitor.
You keep bickering instead of looking for the traitor amongst you.
This is a grave accusation, Senior Deputy. Thank you, honored delegates. The council is now in recess.
How could they?
It can't end like this.
I can hear it calling.
Senior deputies, please, a word.
Summer, what do you want? Your Chancellor led the charge against us in there.
I'm truly sorry, but I have some information that might interest you.
I doubt it.
It's about the secret cult of Arivad.
What?
I admit, this is second-hand intelligence, but still...
Speak up.
One of my people saw a man with a tattoo.
The letter A?
Yes. He followed the man all day, and to a gathering that night. In a remote village to the south.
What village?
It's called Earcorn. Very small, but you'll find it easily on any local map.
Thank you, Halman.
You're welcome. Someone must take care of these cultists. And the council, well, you know.
Yes, we do.
I'm so sorry.
Why? You didn't betray us.
I understand how they see things, but...
Something's wrong with the council.
The council's still young. Everyone is angling for influence. But squabbling academics are better than clashing armies.
Only Ergotine supported us? I mean, beside you?
Why would the new Empire be the only friend we have in there?
Ergotine's a moderate, it's true. But the new Empire is subtle. Plans within plans. It's hard to say whether he was following orders or voting his conscience. I wouldn't read too much into his vote, at least for now. It didn't change anything, anyway. But what about you? How are you coping without the crown?
Better than I expected.
Same for me, actually. It almost feels like we still have the crown.
Exactly. We lost its magical power, but the voice is still calling.
Interesting. So the attunement is unaffected by physical separation?
Keep the crown safe, Marshal. Will you please?
You have my word.
All right. At least we can trust him. The party gains 10,000 gold. Don't really need the money. Take the road to go to Earcorn. Their factions change at all? 69 for the antiquarians. Nope. Nobody else is living legend yet. We can't get the item I was hoping to have. Which of course is the big old magical gauntlets of fire giant strength. Travel interrupted.
Hey, you!
Not drowning in your beer today, Arwen?
No, wait. They took the crown from you?
How do you know that?
How? You really think I'm just a drunk? The whole
not wearing
principality knows you have that crown. I mean, had.
Yeah, indeed.
Something's not right.
You think we need you to tell us?
I mean something's up. Something big.
What, exactly?
They're here.
Who? The Sorax?
Not them. They're pawns.
The cult of Arivage.
You're drunk.
What is wrong with you? Haven't you seen enough? Didn't you see what they can do to people? At first I thought you were just another bunch of brainless council lackeys. But you've seen their ways. In Kolperin and plenty other places, I'm sure. The way they get into people's heads. I've watched the people of Cyflen for 10 years. I've felt a change. Slow, subtle. Until now, it's getting stronger, and I can't let them win.
So what? You're ready to become a hero again?
I can still fight.
Are you offering to join us?
You brought back my sword. That blade and I, we've slayed countless abominations down there in the Badlands. You helped me get closure for my lost child. You were at my side when we took down the Remoras. Yes, I'd like to join you.
I trust him.
Fine, come with us.
Haha, now you're talking.
Plus, he was pretty badass. All right. Just in case there's another interruption, might as well follow it there. He's sliding. That's a neat trick. He's still sliding. Oh, that's hilarious. I guess he's never gonna walk. Oh, that was fun. That tickles me funny bone, that did. Alright, we're going down to Earcorn. Less than a day's travel. It's weird that we can be without the crown, because at first, when she didn't have the crown, it almost killed her. But maybe because the extra gems has given her the ability to separate it for a time.
This is it? Earcorn.
Look, a farm. And another. High adventure. I love it.
Not exactly how I imagined the lair of evil Sorakath worshippers.
Exactly.
But it could be hiding a small group of infiltrators. Let's look around for anything suspicious.
What? No tavern? That's suspicious for a start.
That was my line.
You'd better be quiet if you don't want us to be spotted.
That was my line. Honestly though, like, let's face it, if you're trying to have a secret location, you're not going to make it look like a place that would be a den of evil, right? Like, you're going to want it to be inconspicuous, innocuous. You don't want people looking at a place going, oh, there's troubles afoot here. Look at all these evil, what is it, Aravid? All these idols to Aravid. Blood sacrifices hanging from poles everywhere. Look, they got an altar that says, altar of child sacrifice. Like, you can't trust that kind of thing. Like, it would be something they'd want it to look as normal as possible. Here, let's have... I hope we get some blood rose. Neko loot. Could have just made this one thing. Please have some dragon rose. Oh, we spot some tracks. Amaranth. Two more to get. We're almost done. Unfortunately, it's the common stuff. We're not getting the good stuff. Footprint.
Woohoo! I have something.
Footprints? Really? It's a village. People live here.
Your villagers have claws.
Sorax.
This is it. Be ready for anything.
I like that. Your villagers have claws. Oh, shit. I was putting the cap back on my pop. Alright. Let's see. Who? This one? Ooh, not bad. Left it at 12. And now it's gone invisible.
Curses. My fault.
Veteran. Alright, how about we ready melee attack? Oh, that one's huge. Alright, Neko's turn. Can't just put firewall around us because it won't fit our wind. We got a veteran, an abomination. Fireball right about there. They'll get the abomination, I think. So we'd have to do it at the higher height. But it'd get the abomination. So it's the abomination. Hopefully whatever's in that area. I don't know if it would hit the invisible things. I would assume it would. If they're in range. Try it.
Victory fit for a song.
Hey look, there was something right beside us that just died. We were about to be assassinated by an invisible little Soraketh. And it's dead. Go Neko. Swing and a miss. Right? Yeah. It's flying. Oh no, not a sortier. Those are the guys that can cancel spells. However, it is my turn to attack. I'm going to come to this spot. Damn it, now that I know he's there, I would have stayed to fight him. Alright.
Come on!
Yes. Ooh. 2 and a 1? Shield of Faith, Arwen. He's the only one that has a low AC. Now he's got a 19. Alright, Alright, we are going to cast. Hopefully this doesn't get canceled. Level 5. Don't counter it, don't counter it. Oh, you idiot didn't counter. What a stupid guy. We're not going to be taking 5. Oh, there's another one. We're going to be taking 5d8 damage. I think Clutch might be fireballing. 27 radiant, not bad. Reyna's turn. Alright, let's go. Melee weapons. We step up. The sword. Shika. We don't know much about these guys. Powerful armored fighter with superior resistance and magical abilities. I'm saying him just because she'll get her sneak attack. There we go, it's half dead. And she missed on it too. Legendary action. We made her wisdom save against his shriek. So there's that. Alright, veteran. Ooh, we got power. Oh, that's that grapple thing, right? Alright, 9 damage. 10 damage. And 10 damage. Alright, that's not bad. Not great, but not bad. Ooh, 14 radiant damage. Reyna, attack of opportunity. Neko, attack of opportunity.
Better luck next time.
Cool. It went after Arwen. It tried to go. It just tried to get out of the range with the bubble. They're going after Mouse. 16 radiant damage. At least they're missing as much as we are. Let's see. Clutch is going to hit, as is Mouse. I missed. Not by much, though. I missed by 1. Mouse hit. Alright, it's Neko's turn. Neko. There's not a lot in range right now. I'd have to go through our own people. If I do the mine thing, we could mess up. I could mess up the ones that are near us. They're just already pretty messed up. Let's see if he gets countered.
Another victory.
Woo! 26 damage. We killed the veteran. Alright. 26 damage ain't bad. Legendary action. Shriek. Nope. Touch of darkness. Missed.
Courage.
Guiding bolt. Oh no. A guiding bolt means he's easier to hit. Or they're easier to hit. Was that Reyna that took the hit? Yep. Alright, they're going after Reyna. Clutch doesn't think so. He's going to come over. He's up. Then him. Then him. Alright, well I guess I gotta go for this guy. If we can kill him, he doesn't get his turn. Let's do a level 2 smite. Okay. He's all but dead. I think he'll die on his turn from the bubble. So I am going to...
Well struck.
Kind of wish I could reach the assassin too. The assassin's outside the bubble. Small smite. I guess I didn't need a smite. I should have just left it for the bubble. All right. Still incapacitated. I'm gonna step. We put the shield on. The attack of opportunity probably won't hit. Now he's back inside its range. And then we can mass healing word. I think only Reyna's hurting. Yeah, Reyna's the only one that's been hurt yet. So let's just normal healing word on Reyna. She's at 69. As much as it'd be nice to leave her there.
You are a true savior.
And he's going to ready a melee attack. Ooh, took 15 radiant. Oh, took 25 radiant. The other one took 15 and died. Reyna's turn. It's at 10. It might die on its turn, so I'm going to go for the big guy. Get a sneak attack on him.
Go on!
Nice. She just did 34 damage. Plus another 7. Neko's right on the edge of that bubble, I think. He's got one. You know what? I'm going to risk getting hit.
Shake
Only
it
took
off.
8 damage. He's dying on his turn from the bubble. Oh, 1 off from hitting. Come on. There we go. We already killed the abomination. I wish we could hit this guy, but he can't move any further. End turn.
One less enemy.
And it died. Neko's turn. So all we have left is the veteran that's at 13. Probably going to die on his turn. And the sword. Since he can counter spells, I'm going to shoot him with an arrow. Or not. It's the first time we shot this bow. Consider that a practice shot. Ray of Frost. How come it didn't even give me a chance of countering? Let me get this guy.
You have them now.
I'll go guard Neko. And I'll take a shot with my new magic +1 longbow that Neko gave me because when he upgraded his. I also got a 13 or a 12, whatever. Yeah, no, that's good. Okay. Now let's cast Flame Strike. Flame Strike.
Once more, we prevail.
Well, he died. He just one hit killed him. That's awesome.
That did not feel like we surprised them.
Because we didn't. This was a trap.
Yep. Carefully set up to kill us. Well, you, I guess.
Halman Summer?
He said the intelligence wasn't certain.
The antiquarian? He told you about this place?
He's a traitor.
A Sorak in disguise?
Or just one of their agents.
Anyone checked him for a tattoo?
There's only one way to know for sure. Let's go back to Cyflen.
You know, after all their attempts to stop us, do you think they would have learned by now that they need to send a lot more than they've been sending? 3 gold. Dagger. Like, I was expecting a lot more attacking us. Hexagon ring. We got 21 gold, 13 gold, 1 gold, 19 gold. Oh, more gold. Another 18. Not to mention 9 silver. Alright, Reyna takes poisons. Mass Revivify. I'll take everything, I guess. Alright, let's see. We got a corrosive bolt to give back to Mouse with some bolts. Oh, thank you. I thought it turned out pretty good. I trimmed my beard. I got my haircut finally. I'm actually thinking of taking the beard right off. But yeah, it feels nice. A lot of hair was cut. It feels nice to have it off. Thank you for noticing. Feels good to have somebody say something. Like, nobody at work even noticed. Which is kind of funny. But I guess usually by the time a lot of people are arriving at work, I throw my toque on to get ready to go. So. Alright. That was a bit underwhelming, but I'm glad we kicked so much butt. Well, back to Cyflen. Yeah, I appreciate it. It was looking pretty ratty how long it was. I was tempted to actually suggest doing like some crazy haircut, like shaved side, keep the top long or something stupid. Just telling her to be like, go crazy, have fun with my hair. But I haven't had much success with telling people to just like do something crazy and cool that just, as long as it looks good, have fun. And they usually do the same old boring haircut anyway. I just got it trimmed up. She only charges 20 bucks too. And she washed my hair for me, which I always take up on that offer just because it feels nice. But a wash and a cut for an hour is like 20 bucks. I always pay 25 because she squeezes me in.
What is all this?
Always worth it.
Is that the army in the city? Let's find Summer. I'd prefer to find Karen first.
I have to check on someone. I'll catch you later.
He's got to
check on who? I thought he had no friends left.
His brewer, maybe?
Or maybe Bitterroot's in the town. Seems like he lost a child with her. Alright. Updating our save. Yeah, the beard was getting super ratty, but I got advice. The way, apparently when you have thin beards like mine, if you let it grow really ratty before you trim it, rather than trimming it constantly, it kind of grows in those spaces that would never grow in. And it does look fuller than it did before. But it was looking so ratty before I trimmed it. Especially with like the big goat chunk right at my chin. Wow, there is a lot of people. I can see why we're not going to be keeping access to this town much longer. Okay, where's Karen? Yeah, see, it's Bitterroot. He was checking on Bitterroot. I think they're back together. I hope they're back together. It sucks that they lost a child, but they clearly meant a lot to each other.
Greetings, Master Martel. Have you seen Lord Karen recently?
Not since the conscription.
Conscription? Is that what's happening?
I know, it's been in the air, but now, rumor has it that Galavan's armies are massing at the eastern border.
Galavan? Why?
Ask your friends on the council. They were supposed to keep the peace.
There's been a lot of lightning storms. Did you hear about the IPP? Is it the IPP or IPPA? That big international study, like all the different governments in the world that got together, like all the scientists of like all, I think it was like 160 countries. All the scientists got together to do a climate analysis report, and because it's got so many countries and so many people on it, it skewed towards being more on the conservative side. So like not like doomsaying, like, oh, we're all dead. And the report kind of indicates that if we don't do massive changes on how we output and pollute the world, we are fudge nuggets. We are effed royally. Like by 2040, minimum, we're guaranteed seeing at least a 1.6 degrees Celsius worldwide temperature raising by like 2040 or something like that. And if we don't curtail what we're doing and it keeps increasing the way it's been increasing, it could be as much as 5 degrees, like 4.6 or 5 degrees Celsius. Like it's almost to the point where no matter what we do, we're not going to be able to change it in our lifetimes. Like before it's too bad. We're looking at potential mass droughts across the world, mass starvation, storms. Like if it gets as bad as they think it might, storms that used to cause, like what we used to call like a 1 in 100 storm, like a once in a century storm, like kind of like the thing like I don't know if you remember the movie about the boat that went down, what was it, the Nola Glen or something like that. I think it was a Brad Pitt movie, but I could be wrong. But it's about like the big wave, and they called that, it was like a storm of the century. I think it might even be called Storm of the Century or something like that. But it's supposed to be like a whole bunch of things kind of combined to make like this 1 in 100 year storm that took out this fishing boat, and the lives were lost. And that kind of storm, rather than being one every 100 years, it'd be like one every 50 years. Storms that used to be once every 50 years will be like once every 10 to 20 years. And storms that used to be once in a 20-year storm, they'll be like almost every year. We're going to be seeing so much more drastic weather that it's just going to be like constant craziness. But they're also saying it's not too late. Like we're at a point where if we made a concerted effort to change and fix it, by 2050 we could start seeing it actually improve. But this is like their best estimates of like 2050. Rather than being like, it'll go up to 1.6 no matter what, the world's going to gain 1.6 degrees Celsius. But by 2050, 10 years later, it could be going back down to only 1.5 higher than average. So it'd actually be on the recovery end. That's crazy. Because if we don't start, like the changes, those changes won't happen unless companies decide that, you know what, we're not only in this for the money anymore. And our economy is never going to do that. It's always about the dollar now. Companies have become so corrupt that it's not funny. Like, look at Disney. How much money Disney has made in the last couple years thanks to the Marvel's Avengers and all that. And what they did with Scarlett Johansson, they breached their contract. And to distract you from that, they're like, oh, but she already got $20 million. And can you believe she's doing this and after all those people have died from COVID? Are you crazy? That's not... If a company brings up that kind of stuff when they're trying to say whether or not they breached a contract, they breached the contract. Because usually if you didn't breach a contract, the company would be like, her claims are completely unfounded, we'll take her to court, we have nothing to worry about. And they wouldn't say anything besides that. But no, they're trying to bring up COVID, and they're trying to bring up the fact that she already made $20 million on it. Yeah, but if they had honored her agreement, she stood to make as much as 50 million more. And she's been like a heart of, like, she's one of the few characters that's in all these movies. She was in Iron Man, she's in the Avengers, of course, and then she's in Captain America. She just had her own movie finally. It's like, the day of Marvel's movies making what the Avengers and that did are over. Partly because of everything going more streaming. But they should have just renegotiated her contract. But yeah, like, unless companies start being a little all about the less all about the dollar, or governments be like, look, we can't let the billionaires rule the world. We gotta start saving the world. Like, there needs to be like a mass reallocation of wealth, otherwise things are screwed. Who's this guy?
Daliad? What's going on?
Well, I'd rather not say.
Always secretive.
Do we still need to play this game?
Oh, hello.
Edlin Shorespell, what a surprise.
Are you two related?
He's my superior. 2 ranks above. Right.
So, you two are spies?
Such a crude word. We prefer the old name, Silent Whisper.
The intelligence service of the Manakanan Empire? Really?
Nicer than spies.
So, what's in there?
Nothing, and no one, I'm afraid. I was looking for your acquaintance, Halman Summer.
Oh, him. We were looking for him too.
I'm afraid he's gone.
Isn't everybody leaving?
The Antiquarians and the other Snow Alliance people are pulling out. The Antiquarians are still packing up, though.
He sent us to investigate a lead.
Or rather, sent us into a trap.
I'm not surprised. We had eyes on him, but we lost him.
Is he that good?
Or he had help. Magical.
Zorax?
Who knows?
What triggered all this?
You should really get to the council. They'll tell you everything.
All right. Things are getting interesting. But yeah, it's true. Woke culture is totally ruining movies because they're not making movies to be entertaining. They're making movies to try to preach at people. People don't like being preached at. And they're like going to extremes and putting things in comments and shit that you don't need. Like the most cringiest eye rolling of comments sometime. And there's all these comments like how there wasn't good female characters for women to look up to in the past. There's some of the best characters of all time have been female. And if you want to do that, do the woke thing, but do it right. If you're going to have a female-led cast, keep characters there that will be good role models for the males, and have the women be great women, and the men still be good too. And you don't have like there's a lot of movies and shows where they'll try to make the women look great at the expense of the male characters kind of being buffoons and fools and shit. Like, you can't do that. You gotta have everybody still look capable, you know? Like, you can have that throwaway character that's just there for a gav, and he is the comedic relief always, but you still have to have the capable characters too. It can't just be the guys are the idiots, you know? Like, look how cool, like, again, I always bring it up. Look at the Terminator, look at Aliens, look at Star Wars. Leia was a super badass. Han Solo and Luke went there to save her, and she had to get them out of trouble. You know, like, Terminator, like, Sarah Connor is one of the biggest badasses of movies, period. Anyone tucking us over here? Trying to talk to everybody.
Lady Stonebeard, what is happening?
You still here? I suppose we owed this mess to you.
What mess?
War. Or the threat of war.
We didn't do anything.
Well, the Snow Alliance representatives are leaving. We don't want to be caught between Masgath and Gallivern.
What about maintaining peace?
I did my part. Didn't work.
When are you leaving?
as soon as my dawdling cousin gives the order. Let's hope we can meet again, on the same side.
Good luck, my lady.
Cut the my lady stuff, will you?
Anyone else we should talk to before we go? I'm thinking we actually missed talking to these guys over here. But yeah, like they make all these cases about how all these old movies were purely exploitative and they do this horrible blah 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 shit. Like it's always against women, there's no good female leads, but that it always ignores actual examples.
We knew this war was looming. We'll prevail, as always.
Mayor's an idiot.
Stay in the light, citizens.
Like if you can do those movies, like those like I said, you can do female-led movies and all that. It's just one. Do it without the whole preaching part, and then just make it a movie on its own merits, you know? Like that moment in Avengers where all for no reason all the women came together from all across the battlefield without any prompting. It made no sense. Like some of the women taking it from Spider-Man and then going on made sense, but like pretty much all you needed was Captain Marvel to clear away, and then any one person could have done things. Like it should have been, rather than they all group at one spot, it should have been like it would have been more believable in my opinion. It's still a cool scene, I loved it, but it would have been more believable if one of the women saves Spider-Man, gets the gauntlet, starts going, and as she's about to be taken out, another one lands, saving her, and has a cool little fight scene where they kind of fight together for a bit as the one keeps running, or there's a handoff and then she has to fight herself. You know, it should have been a chain of events rather than just we come together for no reason and now we go off together. It's like, why? Makes no sense. Still a cool scene though. All right, let's see what's going on here.
In Mareki's name, you're here.
What is happening?
The whole delegation from the Tower of Knowledge. They were poisoned.
Poisoned? How many died?
All of them. 30-something.
Oh, shit.
But that's not the point. After Dean Fazek accused the Council of favoritism toward the Principality for keeping the crown in Cyflen.
At the Temple of Einar, which is not affiliated with the Principality.
I know that, of course. Yet soon after, we all ate at the same table, but the Tower delegates died in their sleep. Of course, Galavan took it as an attack by the Principality.
But that's why the Tower's on the Council, and not Galavan's government, to avoid exactly that.
You think I don't know that? This is real politics, my friends. Diplomacy is dead.
So the Legacy Council was a sham all along?
No. It was a real, honest effort to maintain peace.
And it failed.
We're not at war yet.
But Galavan's massing troops at the border.
Bad news really does travel fast. Anyway, pressure is growing for the princess to intervene.
Her? How?
Not as member of the council, as head of state. But tell me, where were you now that your quest is, well...
Chasing the Sorax and their pawns.
Unsuccessfully.
Halman Summer might have been one of them.
What? The man was... I mean, I dined at his mansion recently. He...
Where?
Where what?
A mansion. He told us he lived at the Snow Alliance embassy.
No. His family has a mansion in town. Oddly, it's right next door to the Circle of Danantar's headquarters.
Imagine
we
that.
need to go there.
I might need you when you're done with this errand.
Yeah. They dropped the ball with a bunch of things. Like, Black Widow should have had her movie way sooner because it doesn't really fit the current storyline. She's dead. Why are we going back to find out something that doesn't really matter anymore? They should have done that much sooner. Captain Marvel's movie, well, it had its moments. The actress they had for her acting was horrible in that. She's been a good actress in other movies, but all of a sudden she's all like anti-man and everything, like the propaganda. Like during the whole like press market, like building up, the press tour building up to things, like she didn't want to be interviewed by men and stuff. Like she was very anti-man against it because it was all like a pro-woman movie. And then there was a bunch of bullshit in the movie about how it was always men putting her down. It's like some of the stuff should have been just the whole army always being like, you can't do this, you got, like being that whole like trying to make the person give up and be like, I can't do this, and then have it be like she actually succeeds. There's so many videos on YouTube about the Captain Marvel movie where if they done the story like this, like Nando V Movies had a really good like one small change to make the movie better, and I can't remember who the other one was because I fell asleep watching YouTube one day and I woke up to it playing, and I don't remember who the person was because I wasn't paying that much attention, but he had a good point, a lot of good ideas on like if they did this as the movie instead, it would have been so much better. And it sounded awesome. They just dropped the ball. And they should have introduced Captain Marvel soon enough where she could have been an actual major part of the Avengers movie. She shouldn't just show up at the last second, destroy his ship single-handedly, and then like give him a beatdown, unlike anyone has been able to do. Period. Like even Thor couldn't give him a beatdown like she did when he had Stormbreaker. Like he still had trouble. It took Captain America, Iron Man, and well, it wasn't really Captain America, or it wasn't really Iron Man because he was in space, wasn't he? But it took like a whole bunch of people fighting Thanos to do anything, and yet when she showed up and beat him up on her own, she was just like not really any trouble at all. It's like, come on. She was just her powers were too unbalanced at times. Like they just seemed like out of nowhere they'd be stronger, and then like that whole bit, like her character, the actress did like no emoting the whole time she was playing the character. I was looking forward to it because I remember on the cartoon shows with the Avengers cartoon shows, on one of them they've done some of that, like Captain Marvel and the cartoons, and they were some really good cartoons. All right, where are we headed? Looks like we're headed maybe this way. Oh, we're headed over here. All right. But yeah, it could have been so cool. So far, in my opinion, there's been... No, I'll hold off. I'll talk about it in a moment.
Is that it?
Nothing to say this is Halman Summers' residence.
Not bad for a secret home.
And close to official buildings. Who would suspect anything?
Let's go around. Maybe find a window and get inside.
We should obtain a warrant.
We're past that, don't you think?
Since I intend to kill him, I believe we are.
Come on, they're all preparing for war. No one's paying
him.
attention.
I get Clutch saying find a warrant. My background is law, but... Anyways, like I said, so far in my opinion, there's only been one really decent, and it wasn't really like a woke movie, but it did a better job being a woke movie, and that was Star Wars Rogue One. They gave a female-led cast, and she was badass. The movie was really, it's like one of the few new Star Wars movies that was actually good. It felt like classic Star Wars, and it showed that the Resistance could be the bad guys too. Like the Rebel Alliance were kind of like, they're not all the Rebel Alliance were squeaky clean heroes. Like when is it Gale Erso? Like the guy that, the pilot guy, he's meeting up with a rebel spy to get information, and he's about to be discovered because of him. He shoots him in the back. Like it shows that like he's willing to do the bad stuff because it's for the right reasons, you know? It just shows how messy war could be. It's such a good movie. Was it Jyn Erso? I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched it. But like, I thought it was like, that was a good example. Like here, you got this really badass female character. She's not good at everything for no reason. She doesn't just show up and all of a sudden can out lightsaber like a trained Jedi master. All right. Let's get ourselves some light. Mouse's armor shall light up. Be careful in case there's traps. Little painting, some books. Guessing we gotta find our way towards this. Ooh, cutscene.
This place is insane.
Truly a den of madness.
Holy shit.
Holy Mariaki. Einar, protect us all. In the middle of Cyflen. How could they? Dissimulation is their creed.
This ends now. Let's kill them all.
Maybe they have the gems.
Right, you heard Neko. We gotta kill them all. How could they have this kind of carnage in his house and neighbors not complain of smells? You know, like, there's no way this should have been able to be here without some kind of hint outside. It's in the middle of a town.
Hey, I've seen this man at the Gravekeep's cask.
They're all from town.
Corrupted by the Sorax.
For years, maybe. They were preparing.
There's a ton of paperwork here. A lot's been burned, though.
No sign of the gems.
Look at this. A map of the Badlands. What are these places?
Everywhere we've been. And some other places.
The gems. All 8 of them. And this?
Success!
Probably the location of the rift. It's in the Air Alai, the heart of Manakalan, where the capital was.
There's a whole book of names here. Some are marked converted, some resilient, and some prospects. We must take this to the authorities.
There will be a civil war if we do. People will kill their neighbors.
War is coming, whatever we do.
Downside is I think Mouse and I have the same voice. Unfortunately. Well, we got a lot of evidence, at least. The downside being, of course, you know what? I bet the whole war thing, the Sorax have probably been infiltrating that other empire to orchestrate them potentially attacking and causing a war at the time, like where it would be the worst time for a war, you know? I'm surprised we didn't get attacked on our way out. I guess it's too small for a fight in here. Alright, story's getting good. Like, have anybody watched the Netflix series, the new Masters of the Universe, like the He-Man series? They went woke, and it kind of ruined the movie. Or, well, the series. Great animation, great action scenes, amazing voice cast, and the voice acting is, like, spot on. There's it's called Masters of the Universe Revelations. It's worth a watch. There's only one character that ruins it. And her name's Tila. And unfortunately, in a He-Man, for it being a He-Man show, well, I guess they didn't call it He-Man. They call it Masters of the Universe. It follows Tila, or Tila, however you want to pronounce it. And she's the biggest, whiniest, spoiled brat of a bitch there ever was. And the way they did it just made no sense. Like, she was complaining about things. She's like, you guys kept this secret from me the whole time. Because of that, I'm going to quit and not do the job. Like, they made this big whole deal where she just get at the beginning of the thing, the first episode, she gets promoted to the man-at-arms, which means she took her dad's position of person in charge of all security for the kingdom she was in. A very, like, prestigious thing you would not be given unless you're a very responsible adult. And then she finds out this secret, and she has a hissy fit and quits because they kept the secret from her. But there was only 2 people that kept the secret from her. The king didn't even know. Like, and the secret being who He-Man is. The fact that it was Prince Adam. She treated Prince Adam like shit, though. He gave her in one scene where it's during her ceremony where she's getting before she's been knighted as the man-at-arms or whatever. He sneaks up behind her and gives her a hug, and she like elbows in the gut, knocks him off, and she like throws him down. She's like, that kind of attack will never work on me. He's like, it was a hug. It's supposed to be like a lifelong childhood friend, and she attacks them? Like, I don't know. There's times where her character isn't bad. Like, she's a badass fighter, but she's a whiny little bitch. If they had just not made her so whiny, and through the whole thing, she's complaining how, like, she's always whining about the fact that they kept a secret. To the point where she was willing to let the world go to shit and not save it. Like, she had to be convinced to save the world. Alright, we need to bring the documentation to Karen. Is he up at the office up here? Yep. Alright. Let's bring on the documentation. Yeah, it's really good. It's worth watching. It's got some really cool moments in it that... Like I said, the animation's great. The story's pretty good, except for her. The only problem is she almost completely ruins it. Like when she was going to say, like there's a moment, like the king finds out that, and they made a point, like the king was talking about how if only Adam would prove to be worthwhile, like He-Man and that and all this, or like Tila or whatever. And then, of course, the big thing is, spoiler alert, the big thing is they kill He-Man in the first episode. And that's why the king's upset. He didn't know that his son, Prince Adam, was He-Man. And now he finds out that not only is He-Man dead, but his son is dead. And that he didn't know he was He-Man. So he's basically having a temper tantrum. He's mad at everybody. He banishes the Man-at-Arms, Tayla's father, the one that was the Man-at-Arms from the old He-Man cartoons and the toys. And he banishes him, and then he's like, Tayla, take him, get rid of him, get him out of my kingdom. He's never to be seen inside my kingdom at pain of death. And she's like, no. And I'm like, yeah, you tell him, because he didn't, it's like, it's not your fault you didn't know your son was actually this great hero. And now's not the time to be punishing the people that survived. The country's going to need everybody. And it's not, no, I'm not going to banish my father. We need to stick together through this. It's, no, I quit because you guys kept the secret from me and didn't tell me that Prince Adam was He-Man. How can I ever trust you again? And leaves. It's like, oh my god, are you kidding? She says nothing about her dad being banished. She doesn't even go with her dad. Because he was one of the 2 people in that room that kept the secret. It was just like bullshit. I had this moment where like, I was like, yeah, tell him you're going to stick with your dad. Because they made this point about how like he was a good father and there's a close relationship. I think he's like an adoptive father too. It's not really her dad, but I could be wrong. I wasn't never that huge a He-Man fan. But as soon as she was like, "No, I'm quitting because you didn't tell me this secret," it's like, seriously. One, the queen just figured it out on her own, so the only person that was really keeping the secret was her father, the Man-at-Arms, at He-Man's behest to try to keep the secret identity of He-Man safe. Because the last thing you need would somebody going after Prince Adam when he's Prince Adam, right? Like, it's such a stupid thing to do.